Now, we welcome you to the Big Story segment, and this is usually a very big, whether local or international story that we carry. Yesterday morning, if you recall, Dr. Dunkley was with us discussing the whole matter of the charges laid against former President of the United States, Donald Trump. This morning, we're keeping it local in Jamaica, and I can tell you that the discovery of Daniel Anglin's skeletal remains in Salt River, Clarendon, has raised concerns about the safety of InDrive, a popular ride-hailing platform. Anglin, a 29-year-old teacher, was last seen entering an InDrive service, and her death has sparked fears about the security measures in place to protect drivers and passengers alike. This incident is not the first involving InDrive, as a driver was reported missing last year, and users are now demanding improved safety features and enhanced security protocols. The police are investigating Anglin's disappearance and death, and the incident has highlighted the need for accountability and regulation in the ride-hailing industry to prevent such tragedies from occurring. This morning, I have the great pleasure of having as my guest Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, who is my guest at this time. Good morning, DCP. How are you today?
Good morning to you and your listeners. I'm doing well, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for making the time to speak with us, DCP. This case involved relating to Daniel Anglin. It has a lot of persons concerned and very, very angry, as a matter of fact. What would you say is the status of the investigation into Daniel Anglin's disappearance and death at this time?
Well, we have the main suspect in custody. We think we have the right person. He has actually confessed to the crime, and we are going through some processes, both administrative and legal, and ultimately we'll make the final decision whether we think we have the right person. It's an unfortunate situation, but I guess these are some harsh realities that we have to live with.
To the best of your knowledge, then, DCP, would you say that this person was acting solo, or did the person have company?
He was acting solo from our investigation. This person has a track record. He was convicted in Antigua for sexual offenses and then deported after his prison term. He was also charged and convicted in Jamaica, based on my information, for similar offenses. So he's not new to these, sexual offenses. We are looking at possible, whilst we do our investigation, we are not certain if we will identify other matters that he may be linked to. Okay.
Is the police now almost forced to pay closer attention to the InDrive service? And can you, by extension, sort of tell us what safety measures are in place to protect InDrive, both passengers and drivers?
Well, I since this incident, I have actually had a short conversation with the Minister of Transport, and I have also spoken to someone from the Transport Authority.
Yes.
There's no mechanism in place right now to protect passengers. The reality is, if you go online, it will take maybe less than 20 minutes to sign up with that company. And I think we have to ensure that, there are some standard. We have to ensure that the vehicles that are used are actually, worthy, if I may use that term, and the person who engage in that type of activity meet the required standard. I mean, when we look at our local transport system, all of the PPV vehicles, for example, they have to meet certain standard by law. Fit, if I use the term fit and proper.
Yes.
The vehicle must be fit and proper, and the person that drives the vehicle must be fit and proper. If I have a vehicle and I sign up for this type of service, I can be a known criminal. What background check, what verification is made to ensure that the person that enrolled or enlisted in this organization are people of standard and people who are, I consider, decent people. Mm-hmm. It's just too. There's no security check. There is no. I mean, for example, a photograph of a car is taken. What do you use to validate and to ensure that even the car that is so-called photograph that is taken belong to the owner? I mean, what about insurance? What liability is there if someone meets in an accident in one of those vehicles? What level of protection is there for the individual? I mean, there are so many issues that one will have to contend with, and I believe that as a country, we have to ensure that our citizens are protected. That when you go in one of those vehicles, there are people of good standing. That the driver is of good standing. That's very important. It's about protecting. It could be my daughter, anybody's wife, our sister, brother,
auntie. Yes.
We don't know who is behind the wheel. We have to ensure that there's better structure and system in place to protect the passengers.
So does this now mean that the police, you mentioned that you had conversations with the Minister of Transport, but will you also, as a force, be calling in or having a dialogue with InDrive and any other ride-hailing services to improve safety and security?
Well, in relation to this particular one, we have no local rep. We don't know. We just, it's on the internet. You go and you see the requirement, but there's no local representative. There was one of those type of company that entered the market in Jamaica, I remember, and they came and they had the appropriate meeting, dialogue with the authority. There was some controversy even with our taxi service, but at least if there's a situation, there is a local rep. The entire, I remember the security team that worked with that particular company made contact with the security representative from the security force in Jamaica. There is a point of contact, etc. So we need to ensure that there's a structure. It can't be just a free for all. I mean, it exposes our citizens to danger. It does. It just cannot work.
If one as a passenger finds themselves in danger, how can such a user report suspicious incidents or concerns when using these ride-hailing services? What should they do?
Well, as I said, there's no special feature. Is you basically take a chance with your life when you engage that type of service. I mean, unless you have some form of emergency system or apps on your phone that you can maybe you ensure that when you go there you have a group of people that can you give your location that they can follow you. I mean, those are some of the things that the citizens will have to do once you enter one of those. But other than that, there's just nothing to be done.
DCP, are you stopping short of discouraging persons from using this kind of service?
And I'm saying, I will publicly say to our citizens, do not use this type of service until you know that there's a proper security mechanism in place, that the person, there's proper checks and balances, there is due diligence, there's mechanism in place. It's just dangerous. I mean, our local taxis, for example, you can identify them, they are red plates. You can identify them in so many ways. There's no identifiable feature in any of these so-called ride-hailing services.
There's a family now that is mourning, and I also was just reminded that there's another teacher that apparently has gone missing. Is that correct?
Yes, I got wind of it yesterday. I do not have the detail on that, but I heard yesterday.
Yes, but focusing on the victims as families, DCP Bailey, what support services are there or are available for victims of crime and their families?
Well, we have some robust mechanism in place to treat with that. The local police, they have the community safety and security branch that normally interact with victims of crime. There's also services that is offered, I think, through the Ministry of Justice, and our chaplaincy unit within the JCF also provides some level of service and support in respect to victims of crime.
Okay. Please allow me to ask one question, which is not what we have on the agenda, but we all are aware of the accident involving the Minister of Health, Chris Tufton, and it is believed an entertainer. Do you have any information at all that you care to share this morning by way of an update?
No, I mean, I am aware of the accident, and it is under investigation. That's as far as I can say at this time.
Yes.
But there's no more information than that. It's just an accident, and it is being investigated by the police.
All right. DCP Bailey, I thank you so much for speaking with us this morning, and I wish you a great day. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that is a chat there with high-ranking member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Fitz Bailey. And this morning we focused primarily on the dangers, really, of using InDrive in Jamaica and other such ride-hailing services, and the dangers that really you're exposed to. He came out outright and said, "Listen, he doesn't encourage, and he would actually advise persons not to use those services." What are your thoughts, listeners? I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you can send us a WhatsApp message, 876-861-4753. That's 876-861-4753. You can call us via WhatsApp as well on that same number. And you can call us toll-free on 877-255-3086. Let us keep the conversation going. A teacher has lost her life. There's a family that is mourning. I'd like to say deepest condolences to the Anglin family who are grieving, and also the members of the school community and the community in which this teacher, Daniel Anglin, lived. It's a sad story, having taken an InDrive taxi recently. She ended up losing her life. It's a very topical discussion. It's only yesterday that the police came out and said they found her body. And it's a sensitive one, but we want to hear from you. 876-861-4753, 877-255-3086.